Thank you for the invitation and for organizing this day, which is absolutely fabulous. Everything is so well organized. I'm from Concordia, one of the 4 universities in Montreal, only a few blocks west. We have more than 46,000 students, a comprehensive university founded in 1974, so a baby university almost. Prepared this presentation with my colleague Alexandra Mills, who's with us today, who's the Special Collections Archivist. So all of this started with a gift in 2012. So we already had before special collections at Concordia. But in 2012, Records Management and Archives offered to transfer research collections, archival private fund, as we say in Quebec, from the archives, the university archives, to the library. So an agreement was signed with my predecessor, Gerald Beasley. And we had no space for those collections, we had no archivist, and we had no service offer. So in 2013, when I took on the interim mandate as University Librarian, we started the development of that sector for Concordia Library. We now have more than 130 fonds and collections. Some of them that you see on the slides: Canadian Quebec and Montreal, history, communication studies, jazz and nightlife in Quebec, community and citizen action in Quebec, counterculture and avant-garde culture production in Quebec. We are interested at Concordia in archives of people who made Quebec, mostly in the 60s, 70s. And at this time, they are moving out of their homes, or their children have their boxes because they died a few years ago. And many archive centers around the province simply do not have space left for their papers. At Concordia, we decided to say yes to those who were of interest to us. And it's only by word of mouth that we are receiving those funds. We have no place, but it's certainly, as we say, Alex and I, it's better than a garage in the suburb, our temporary storage spaces, and we're building our case for a bigger vault and bigger spaces. So those are other collections that we have: English-speaking Black community organizations in Montreal, Irish in Montreal. And 1.5 years ago, we had the pleasure to sign an agreement with Carl Polanyi's daughter for the papers of this great thinker of the 20th century. Some of our fonds were recognized as Canadian cultural property, and we're very proud of that. Among others, the Gay and Lesbian Literature Collection. So, as I told, we had no archivist, not enough space, and no plan. So the first thing we did is we worked on a plan. Actually, Alex worked on a plan with 3 phases. The first one was to hire an archivist, assess the needs, plan for the physical and technological infrastructures, establish the first policies, procedures, and workflows to take into account the growth of the sector, and work on the service offering. The second phase was to hire an archival assistant and work on the actual physical transfer of all those boxes. And we're now in phase 3 for the ongoing operation, so I guess it's going to be soon the time to work on another plan. It represented 504 linear meters of material that we had to transfer. And we're using the space at our Vanier Library on the Loyola campus, some 10 kilometers west of here. And we established some short-term storage by transforming a classroom, where you see the plans here, into temporary archival storage. We also created the Special Collections Acquisition Advisory Committee. And that committee serves us very well. The members of the committee certainly gives us good advice, but they also are ambassadors for what we're doing and for special collections. They talk to deans and other influential people on campus. And as you know, even if it's 50–60% of the facts that are right, it's always better when other people are talking about what you're doing than yourself. So we invite them to do that. We also created our finding aid, the Archives and Special Collections Catalog. We did that in collaboration with Archives, and we're using the ATOM software. So today I want to talk to you about an example of a community engagement with a case study of storytelling, telling stories, sorry. So this is a project that was done in collaboration with Stephen High, Professor of History, and Alexandra Mills, Special Collections Archivist. And we wanted to teach with primary sources to undergrad students, work with faculty, and integrate primary sources in the curriculum, and with the objective of enhancing primary source literacy. So we had literally the boxes in the classroom, and students came to. It was when the first student came in the classroom, and this was done with the funds from the Negro Community Center. And the Negro Community Center, the NCC, was in operation between 1927 to 1995, located in Little Burgundy, and served the Montreal's English community, black community. The students during that course were charged with learning from activating at the archive. So they had to learn and activate the archive. That was what they were asked to do. And they were also asked to return the stories they found in the archive to the community. So you see here the photo of the class in action. They had access to the entire archival fund throughout the course of the semester, aside from specific in-class activities. Items or files were not pre-selected for the students. Instead, they were encouraged to discover the archive throughout hands-on, unmediated exploration in a supervised and supportive atmosphere. Archival material is not what undergrads would first think of using, and it's certainly perceived by them the domain of scholars, researchers, and grad students. And undergrads are infrequent users of archives, so we wanted to give them access, the experience of learning and creating from archival material. You see Professor Stephen High with these students. I'm going to pass this one. And on 11 April in 2017, so last year, we were in Little Burgundy showcasing the Montreal's Negro Community Center archive. I'm going to show you a few. I don't know if we can hear that. Also, it's not the sound is not loud enough. I was taking the photo just like a mother. I was so proud. So you see, Alex is explaining to the community that we are taking care of their archives for centuries and centuries. They can come whenever they want, and that we're very proud of doing that. So that was really a very important moment for us, not only for our students, but for us and for me as a librarian to see that. So the students were in the space with members of the community. Members from the community spoke after their memory of the NCC and what they learned, the dance class, the piano class. So we started with, I think it's 4 or 5 members of the community who said a few words from their memory. And after that, our students, so you see one of our students, they reported back to the members of the community about what they learned from the archives without knowing that group. And you see another student here. That was really, really moving. And the room was crammed full, as you can see. We were all standing. It was a very little room in Little Burgundy. One of our students had the opportunity to publish a text in Quebec Heritage on her findings too. So just one course with all this impact and all this emotion, if I may too. And it all started with a gift, and it will continue with the physical expansion and special collection spaces. When you create that type of moments and you report back to members of the community, to administrators, and people are talking about it, it's much easier to make the case that yes, you need to renovate the Vanier Library, and you need a much bigger vault, because our history of the 60s and 70s has to be kept for future generations. And we want, as an institution, to contribute to the preservation, the valorization of our archives, and we want to contribute to the writing of our history. Thank you.